Vogue. Hello and good morning and good evening and salutations. We are back again, number 4. Welcome back.
Right. We've been doing this for like a month now, which is crazy.
Yeah, because some of us have commitment issues. I'm not saying it's me, but it might be. So, we're going to start off. We usually at the end do the what we've been sipping on. But tonight we'll also be munching on something as well.
Yeah, so we're just going to talk about it here at the beginning. So
May as well.
We found this amazing wine. It's called Storm Chaser. And it's from Washington State. And it's really good.
It really is.
Really tasty. And then we also have, I don't know if any of you have the grocery store Aldi. People say it different ways. We call it Aldi. It's a great store that imports food from different countries. The sucky thing is that the only time they ever import German food is during Oktoberfest. And it's not October yet, but they're gearing up. So they got all the food coming in from Germany, which I love. It's
Deutschland. That's what it says. Deutsch.
Chocolate chip pound cake from Germany. So yeah, that's our treat for tonight.
Now this, we'll have to see how it is because there's a pound cake maker in North Carolina. She's a family member and her pound cake is so good. We'll see. So this is chocolate chip pound cake.
That's good.
Ooh. Okay, so look at the measurement when you're looking at the calories and stuff per 5th cake serving. So
You saying you want a 5th of that?
no.
That's really yummy. It's good, right?
It is very good. It is.
I have a Jamaican rum cake in there too, but I'm taking that to work.
Well, I'm glad you shared the chocolate chip with me.
They have a different, they have an amaretto one. I don't like amaretto, so I bypass that.
As we're eating this pound cake, we're going to discuss. God almighty!
I know, right? It's good.
It is better than Hershey chocolate.
And it's not very sweet. I like that.
It's not. It is sweet, but it's not. It's not really very rich. It's just enough. So this week, as last week, we played timelines.
Yes,
Because we always do.
and I learned a new way to spend my chronotons. Once you 3-star mission, you can pay chronotons to zip through it and get your items.
If
If you're playing on the iPad. I don't know about an Android. I don't know.
also if you have you at least VIP 1. She's a VIP 1 because she broke down and she talked about this a couple of episodes away that she was going to try not to pay for anything. Well, she broke down.
Well, I'm checking it out just because I want some of the special things. The jackpot prize and the Dabo wheel.
Pause while hilarity ensues. Lulu, skip to my Lulu, skip to my Lulu, skip to my Lulu, my darling.
It was a thrifty purchase because it was $4 and I get 100 dilithium crystals every day for 30 days.
And
So that's 3,000 dilithium crystals for $4.
which isn't bad. And they do, as I asked her, they do roll over.
They do, yeah. You don't have to spend them all.
So
You don't have to spend them the same day you get them.
right.
So you can bank them. And it was really nice because we celebrated Star Trek Day. Sorry, I keep interrupting you.
That's okay. We did celebrate Star Trek Day.
Yes, it was the 51st anniversary of Star Trek, and it was nice because Timelines gave us 100 dilithium crystals.
Yeah, to give you a taste of what you were missing. And then
that's what pushed me over the edge.
It did. It sucked you in.
It's like that. Okay, you know the insurance commercial, the old guy with the fishing rod with the dollar hanging, like
Oh yeah.
It's like just trying to bait you.
Mm-hmm. And you took the bait.
I did.
Yes. Yes, you did. Also, I saw the movie It. Since we're talking about what we did,
so I will give the floor to her.
I've seen the original, and after I watched the new one, my sister and I watched the old one, and I have to say, I mean it was a good reimagining of it. I thought it was scary at parts, I guess, you know, but you kind of. I don't know, I kind of prepare myself in a scary movie. I mean, you can just feel when an intense moment is coming and you're like, just put your mind on something else. And, you know, but we were laughing. I have never laughed so much in a horror movie. In a good way, you know, not like poking fun at, oh my God, I can tell that's fake, but just genuine laughter.
Yeah, that happened to us when we went to see Get Out. And I know I guess that would be a horror movie. I don't know.
Yeah.
But that was the first time I ever saw like a movie with scary parts. And so the theater was packed and everybody was laughing all throughout the movie. It's kind of weird.
I would see it again if you, I think we should see it together.
I'm not a horror movie watcher, but I don't know. I started watching the original It movie with her last week. I watched maybe the first 10-15 minutes and then I stopped paying attention because chaos ensued. But I don't know. That didn't seem scary. It seemed kind of cheesy.
Right. Well, it was the 80s.
Yeah.
You know.
And I am more interested about seeing it now that I know that that's Tim Curry in it. I never knew that before. And with me just recently seeing the Rocky Horror Picture Show for the first time.
Yes.
Yeah.
I did enjoy it, and I would go see it again.
Yeah.
I really would.
Well, I'll think about it.
Well, we'll let you know.
Yeah, we'll tell you. Don't worry.
So, we also watched the 4th episode. Sorry, the dog was barking. You okay? It's alright. Nobody's out there. We're okay. We're safe. I promise. Come on. So we watched the 4th episode, and
yes, this is season 1, episode 4 of Star Trek: The Animated Series. It is called The Lorelei Signal, and we have a puppy.
Like Lorelei Gilmore.
I wish. Are there any Gilmore Girl fans out there? Because we are.
Yeah, they're stinky.
There, we have the puppy. Hello, puppy.
This, I don't know why, this episode just makes me laugh.
Yes, it was a very good episode. I am enjoying watching these animated, and it's interesting because normally I would just sit, like if I really am interested in it, and normally I would just sit and watch and watch and watch, and you're being creepy.
Do you need to get down, or are you being creepy? Stop.
Usually when I'm this interested in a television show, I want to sit and binge watch it. And I'm not doing that with this. I'm watching it one a week, basically. And I didn't even watch it until today. But I'm just really, really enjoying it. But it's called The Lorelei Signal. And to me, it is a true embodiment of woman power of Star Trek.
Yes, it is. Uhura, she took the bull by the horns and said, oh my God, the men, they're freaking out. Well, maybe we should give the premise to the episode before we start explaining.
Well, we don't want to give spoilers, but you know, like the mermaid call, like when the beautiful women call out and the men are just fall under the spell. So they're hearing a signal from like 20 light years, I think they said, right?
Sounds just like that.
Right. So they were hearing a signal from 20 light years away, and they were like, oh, we have to go and check this out. And they go toward it, and it's pulling all of the men. And the men are the one making the decisions. And then, you know, they send down an away party of the 3 most important men on the ship.
There's 4 because there's a red shirt. But he doesn't die because it's a kid's cartoon.
Really? Is that why they...
Well, I'm going to say, because every episode we've watched so far...
No one's died.
Yeah, no one's died. And as we know, the cursed red shirt,
Yeah.
usually dies. But there are 4 of them. I don't remember if he's even named, but he's there.
Yeah, he is there. So they are caught in a situation where all the men are basically losing their minds to these women. And so the women have to take over the Enterprise and storm the planet that they were on, save the men, get them back up to the ship. But, and also the true fashion of the 70s, the women saved the men and got them back on the ship, but in the end it was the men who solved the problem.
Oh, of course.
They're the ones who figured out how to really beat
they did.
the system.
Oh, thank you for getting us this far, but we got it from here, sweetie. Go back over on the comm system. Go clean some probes. We'll be okay.
Probes.
Yeah. Nurse Chapel. And we heard Michelle Barrett Roddenberry all over that episode again, just like the others. She played her like she did in the show.
Christine Chapel.
Yeah, and then she also was every voice of the woman on the planet that was not seducing, but sucking the life out of the men.
Right. They had little headbands on that would drain their life force into these women, and they would get old and haggard. They aged 10 years a day. Yep.
They did.
So all in all, it's a really good episode. It shows the women taking charge, and it got me to thinking about other women of Star Trek and how they have women, women empowerment and all of that. What?
Women. You said women. Cut! Like Kara did last week. Cut!
Yay! Alright, so I decided that I'm going to go out to the internet and be like, let's do some research on the women of Star Trek and how they empower women and influence women, and because I've been influenced and empowered by the women in Star Trek.
Certainly.
Right. So I go to www.google.com, the good old Google, and I googled women of Star Trek, and then I noticed a big problem.
What problem did you notice,
a big
dear Kara?
Burning problem. The first 2 things that come up when you search for women of Star Trek on Google. The first one is the most beautiful women to appear on Star Trek. The second one is the top 50 babes in Star Trek original series. So you go out there to try to research about how Star Trek empowers women, and it's all about how hot the women are in Star Trek. Good job.
Because that is exactly...
Well, I mean, it's probably fed by the most clicked on things or the most viewed sites when they search for that.
Well, yeah, that's true. It is a bit discouraging, though.
A definitive ranking of the hottest women on Star Trek. The 20 hottest Star Trek babes of all time.
Okay, now, I just came over here and typed in men of Star Trek. First 2 things that come up, Star Trek, Gods of Men, the Star Trek Expanded Universe. It's a fandom. Okay, the second one, a definitive ranking of the hottest guys on Star Trek.
We're guilty of it too. I'm not saying that we aren't.
I just wanted to clarify we are not one-sided.
No,
we know, but we're just pointing out this part.
And it can't be denied. There are some beautiful people to look at in Star Trek.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, indeed. So it comes from both sides of the fence. But I really appreciate, like, even though the animated series was filmed back in the 70s, a lot of times where women didn't have the freedom or the power, everything that they have now, that they were able to put something on television that advanced for that time period.
It was very advanced because Uhura, she took charge.
Yeah, she did.
She took charge, and she just like that, just like any woman.
Right. She hit the thing, was like, I've got to make an entry. Scotty is in Euphoria. I'm taking over the ship. There may be consequences. We'll deal with that later, and you'll get a full report from me later too.
Exactly.
It was just like bam, bam, bam. She just handled the business. It was awesome.
Mm-hmm. So, who are some of your favorite female characters from Star Trek that influenced you?
Well, definitely Kira from Deep Space Nine.
Right.
I mean, y'all know that. Everybody knows Deep Space Nine. Her, Dax, those two women especially on the show. Were there any other women in DS9? I don't think so.
I keep wanting to call him Smiley because I have him as Smiley in timelines, but
Keiko O'Brien.
Yeah.
Yeah, those three women definitely on DS9. Next Generation, I didn't really. What is that noise?
My foot sliding across the floor.
Stop it.
Oh, wow. Kara's getting creeped out easily. Maybe she has seen it. Maybe I shouldn't take her to see it. I think those were the only women. Like the only recurring. Oh, well, you've moved on to Next Generation.
Well, then, and also, no, DS9 had Ezri Dax.
Yeah, they did.
I'm a fan of Jadzia Dax.
I am too. Well, she's my favorite. I don't know. It's toss up between her and Kira. But
well, I mean, it's for different reasons. I like DS9 and Kira's quest for her spirituality.
Yeah.
You know, coming to terms with the things that she did during the occupation and while she was in the rebellion. All of that, her coming to terms with all that, just really, I don't know, the things I was going through in my life when I was watching it, just kind of really made it resonate with me. And then as far as Jadzia Dax, that's just an all-around good character.
It was, and to me, for Jadzia, it was the fact that she was one of the youngest trills to be joined. You know, she was very young, and she accomplished so much. And I don't know, that was to me.
Right, and she was more, she had that. Stop!
I picked it up.
Are you nervous?
Y'all, what is wrong? The full moon was last week.
The thing about Jadzia is that she has the perspective or the memories and perspective of men and women.
Yeah.
Because, you know, she had Curzon Dax, which the Trill life before her was male, and then she was female. And that was interesting because Benjamin, you know, Curzon was such a good friend of his, so that when Jadzia came along, he knew that Jadzia had all those memories, but it was hard for him to approach it because she was a beautiful woman. Now.
Right, but he did always call her old man.
Yeah, he still did.
Yeah.
And then it was, speaking of that, I was watching an episode of DS9 today, and it was the episode where the Maquis first were introduced in DS9.
Mm-hmm.
And it was the colonies in the demilitarized zone that his old friend was leading up the Maquis.
Oh,
and
yeah.
Goldicott came and got him and took him there to show him what was going on. And when his old friend first came to DS9 to visit him, and they were talking, and he met Jadzia Dax and realized it was Curzon. Yeah, it was Curzon.
Stop moving your foot. Just a little fun.
He met Jadzia and realized it was Curzon. And then when he and Ben went into Ben's office, he was like, so that's really Curzon? You and her haven't and just the awkward laughter of Ben. It was just it was a creepy scene.
Like, dude.
Right.
Dude, just because she's female. I mean, wow. So Next Generation, we had Miss Deanna Troy and Dr. Crusher.
Yeah. It's still hard for me in the first couple of seasons of Next Generation, the real 80s hair and spandex. That was a little hard to get over.
Well, you know.
And we always have the famous Troy and Crusher gymnastics scene with the spandex.
Well, and with the hair, they say the higher the hair, the closer you are to Jesus. So, maybe that's what they were going for in the 24th century.
It was not a good look.
No, it wasn't.
But I like it because it shows the time period that those Star Trek shows were filmed. Kind of like, you see the 80s in Next Generation, and then you see the 90s in Voyager, Deep Space Nine. It's very interesting.
Yeah, it is how it does progress. But one progression, and this is kind of off topic about the women, but I know in Voyager, some of your favorite episodes were not the episodes where Tom Paris went back and the whole thing was black and white.
Oh, yeah.
Professor Proton.
Yeah, I remember those.
I don't know why, but I love those episodes. And Janeway playing I can't remember, but she was like some kind of spider queen or something. And she really, really did not want to do it.
No, she didn't. And it was interesting to me because they're stuck out there for all these years. And Captain Janeway would have the weirdest holo programs, like when she was the Wuthering Heights, the nanny to the kids, falling in love with the dad. It was just like, what? But why? Why? That's your fantasy?
Yes, and she loved to go back to, I can't remember what, it was a famous painter or...
Oh, Leonardo da Vinci.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
It was Da Vinci.
Yeah, and then Seven ended up the Raven. Was it Seven? I thought Seven ended up down there with him one time. Or he had some sort of, when he was trying to...
Fly?
Yeah, make an airplane or something,
Yeah.
Maybe it reminded her, anyway, of the Raven. But sorry to get off topic, but sorry, not sorry. But I don't know. There's just so many. I could never choose one, and I just.
Well, let's talk about Enterprise. Who were your favorite women on there?
Well, we got to say T'Pol, because.
Oh yeah, definitely. And Ensign Sato.
Sato, yeah, that's how she says it.
Sato.
I am partial to the Vulcans, though.
Yeah.
The logic is very appealing. We all want what we don't have.
My favorite T'Pol episode was when she told the captain and Trip about the time, the true first
Carbon
time.
Creek.
The true first time that Vulcans came to Earth and how she invented Velcro. That is the best Enterprise episode.
I love it. Carbon Creek. That was a great episode.
Yes.
It really was about her. Was it her great? And then that's also the episode they found out that she was like in her 90s or something.
Yeah.
Trip I loved her and Trip together too, though.
Yes. I don't want to talk about Trip. I like to watch Enterprise and watch it all except for the last episode. And I cut it off before that last episode in my mind. And in my mind, they're off having a happy life with little
Spocks running around?
No. Well, they're going to have pointy ears, but they'll have a southern drawl.
Yeah. Do you have a burning question for us this evening? Or
I don't.
Shall I come up with one?
I think it's your turn.
Is it my turn to come up with one? Okay. Let me throw this one at you.
Okay, Dee, what is the burning question of the day?
Well, get ready to put your shorts out so you can answer this burning question. If you could bring back any guest character on any of the series and bring them back as a season regular, who would you bring back?
So I have to pick a character that was obviously on the show and then left.
Yeah, example, Vash.
Ah, gotcha.
That, just a guest star. Make one that made one appearance, two appearances.
And then have them come back and be in every episode.
Yeah, just an everyday, yeah.
Well, I would have to say it would have to be I don't know. That's a good question. I think probably Guinan in Next Generation, because I always felt like she did not get enough screen time in that show.
That's true. And she had a lot of words of wisdom.
Yeah. And what always bugged me that they never went and elaborated. Did they elaborate on her and Q and how they knew each other and why they disliked each other?
I don't know that they...
There was one episode where Q was coming and staying. I think he had lost his Q powers and he was on the Enterprise for an episode as a normal human. And he and Guinan had an encounter. And it was very clear that they had known each other in the past and they did not like each other.
I can't remember if they... I don't think that ever really was explained.
I don't think so, but I love Q. I love Guinan. So that always has intrigued me and made me wonder.
Yeah.
But yeah, if I had to bring back a guest character, it would be her. What about you? Who would you bring back?
You know, I was prepared to ask the question, but I was not prepared to answer. Who would I bring? I wouldn't bring Vosh back. I wouldn't bring the Negus back. Although, inconceivable.
I love him.
Oh my gosh. You know, most of the people I didn't really care for.
She would bring Kes back.
Oh, God. Ugh. No, I'd trade.
She doesn't like. She had that same reaction a couple of weeks ago to Neelix.
Oh God.
I mean, what's wrong with Kes and Neelix?
I mean, okay, I'd take Neelix over Kes. I'm glad, but I don't know what it was about her. I mean, she was a child. You know, she was only like two or three. I mean, but still, it was just. I don't know.
I appreciated her friendship with the Doctor.
Yeah.
Because she really helped him a lot. She made him, she forced him to, or she showed him, you need to stand up for yourself. Like, she really pushed him as far as him becoming more than just a hologram program.
Yeah, I don't know what it was.
Okay, just imagine that if Kes had not been on Janeway's ship, would the Doctor have progressed as much as he did without Kes? No.
No, he wouldn't have. But Kes wouldn't be on the ship, and they would need him if Janeway had, not got them stuck.
Okay, so we know she wouldn't bring back Kes or Vosh or the Negus. So who would you bring back? I'm surprised I had to answer that easily.
I am too, and I'm kind of wishing I had phrased the question differently because I bring back Jadzia because she died.
But she wasn't a guest character.
No, she wasn't a guest character.
Oh, that's what you meant by rephrasing the question.
Yeah. Okay, I'm just going to go for it. Lwaxana.
Yes.
Because she was in both Next Generation and in DS9.
Mm-hmm. Her and Odo had a thing.
They did.
He melted into her.
And she changed. She matured, actually, over the years.
Yeah, she
did. And I just...
Especially with that episode in DS9 where they were stuck in the turbo lift together.
Yeah.
And she was trying to show him that the face that she put on for everybody else was not her true self. And she took her wig off. She took her hair off and showed, that she was wearing a wig. And that's how she made herself look good and feel good about herself.
Yeah. The episode, I always kind of was like, oh my God, Lwaxana's in this one. Poor Deanna. She's going to be...
Yeah, I always felt sorry for Deanna and their episodes together.
But the one episode, and it was one of the very last episodes in season 7.
Of Next Generation.
And it was basically... a lot of Star Trek episodes, they deal with issues that, we face today.
Right.
And basically it was, Lwaxana had PTSD. And this certain race that she was dealing with, until they met Lwaxana in the Federation, they didn't speak out loud. They were telepaths, and they were learning.
Gotcha.
Learning the language. But because they were telepaths, she was having to use so much of some betazoid part of her brain, and she was getting older, and she had, anyway, something, but it was causing memories that she had pushed aside, hurtful memories. And it just made me see Loxana in a different light, you know?
Yeah.
And it brought Deanna and Loxana a lot closer.
Right.
And it really did make me like her more as a character.
Yeah. And I know she was on DS9. I don't think did she appear on anything else or in any movies? Or was DS9 the only one where she appeared as that character?
That's, as far as I know, as far as I've watched, none of the other movies that I've seen. And, you know, I don't actually, in Nemesis, recall seeing her at, and they may have mentioned it, but seeing her at Deanna and Wrecker's wedding.
Right.
I think we're both actually going to try to get Orville watch the new,
I've seen bits and pieces of it.
I almost called it Seth Green, but it's not Seth Green. It's Seth MacFarlane, The Family Guy, Cleveland Show, every other freaking thing, American Dad. He actually was in an episode of Enterprise. He is a huge, huge Star Trek fan. I saw an article on Facebook that talked about all the Star Trek Easter eggs in the episode, and I didn't look at it. I want to see if I can spot them. But I'm kind of excited to watch that, and we'll probably talk about that the next time because we will have watched it.
Yeah, I've watched a little bit of it, and I've read some reviews of it online. There are some diehard Star Trek fans that absolutely hate it. There are diehard Star Trek fans that love it. There are people who are not Star Trek fans that like it. So it's got a mix of reviews, but to me it's going to be one of those shows. There's a lot of comedy in it.
That's a good thing. That's what he's good at.
Yeah. So the comedy, and you know, hopefully he can pull a meaningful storyline out of there somewhere. It seems to be. It's really pretty to look at, like lots of bright colors and stuff.
I feel like not having seen it, you know, I have watched the preview, but not having seen it, I feel like I know that it comes from a good place just because I know from reading and seeing interviews with him that how much he does love Star Trek.
Right.
You know, and he is a Trekkie, and he has been for a long time.
Right.
And so I don't know, I feel like he will do it as much justice as he can, you know.
Oh, and also whenever you get a chance, go to our Facebook page. I shared a hilarious video of Robert Picardo, who is the great doctor in Voyager, singing. It's hilarious. You have to go check it out. It's epic.
It really is. I love that a lot of the Star Trek characters, I mean the Star Trek actors, they still kind of they get into this. They do the like Robert Picardo did that. You know, kind of like the Doctor did in his big show for those people. I mean, they embrace it. You know, I don't know. I like that. It makes me as a fan feel good. You know,
and it also allows you to see how much of their real selves they put in the characters.
Yes, and like we were watching. What was the name of that show that Patrick Stewart was on? It's a British show.
Oh, have I got news for you?
Okay, I had never heard of it, anything, and they pulled it up the other day on YouTube, and oh my gosh. And they made so many references. They made references to the Borg. They made references to the captain, you know, and it was great. It was just great. I loved it.
Yeah, I want to go back and watch the Shatner episode.
I love British TV. I love British people.
Yes, we want to be British people. But apparently our forefathers thought that wasn't necessary. Oh well. But anyway, thank you for hanging out with us again. Y'all are awesome, wonderful, and all those wonderful things.
Oh, yes. I know we are. Thank you. Did you hear that?
We're wonderful too. You're so
God.
Nice. Okay. But yeah, thanks for hanging out with us again. Y'all are great, and we will see you next time.
Yeah, and Carol won't let me open anything, so look at this, because it's cool. See, we have really cool SH stuff. Isn't that cool? We're not going to open it.
Why do you always say that I won't let you? We didn't even discuss opening something.
We didn't, but it takes me a long time to open things, and, you know.
We have to say goodbye for now, but we will see you next time.
So long, farewell to you, my friends. Goodbye for now, until we meet again. It's been great to play and sing together in the box, and now it's time to say goodbye. Okay. I'm done. All right. Did we already say bye?
We did.
Well, I want to say goodbye because I love everybody. Thank you for following us. Tell your friends.
And your neighbors. Tell your enemies. They might be Trekkies.
And if they are your enemies, it's okay. Live long and prosper.